Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're actually going to be making that FPS framework. So we're going to work on the arms and the gun and rough effects. Just, stuff to get us started. So first, we're gonna add a few modules, including, if I can find it, I have too many stuff. The spring module. So what we can do is put that in replicated storage. We can make a folder for it. We can actually make a few folders that we're gonna need. Remotes, weapons, and dialogue. I'll explain what dialogue is for later. Ooh, we need an S in modules, because it's not just gonna be one module. And now we need a model. Okay, so I found a not so realistic model for my game, because that's the aspect I'm going for now. We need any avatar. We can just get an. I'm gonna say a mesh rig because I want the arms to have the grabby. And now we'll scale it to be about the size that we need it to be, which I think I have a perfect size. So I don't actually know if there's any. I'm just gonna grab the handle and call it grip so we can weld it. So we can, weld everything together without. Oh my god. Alright, now that I've gotten rid of all of the welds, except for, well, actually not except for anything, we can just go through and weld it. Actually, I have a better idea. So I'm gonna put a script in the description, and you're gonna want to paste that script into your little command line thingy at the bottom. And if you don't have it, you want to go to view, and then command bar right here. And also, you're going to want to replace your weapon location to wherever it is. So it's going to be workspace M4A1 for me. So it'll be game.workspace.m4A1. Okay, as you can see now, I have the script in, I have it saying game.workspace.m4A1. I have this as a script in workspace also, so I can put it in the description later. I'll disable it. It's just the same exact script. And now I'll do it. And now I can scroll to grip and you can see all the parts are inside of it. But there's a problem. Guns and anything really won't animate if they have the same name. So you can rename it manually or just, you know, union most of it, which is what I do. So, you know. And now all the motor 60s will be gone. So I'll run the thing again, and now you can remove the grip one, but now it just has the entire body. Actually, hold on, I'm gonna wanna undo that, because I wanna get the mag separately. Let me close that, and then grab all the stuff except grip and mag. And now I can just call this body. And now that we have the mag, body, and grip, we're gonna remove that. And then run the script. Remove grip. And now we have an entirely rigged gun, which is this is pretty neat. I'm gonna clear the output. I'm gonna put the M4A1 in the dummy I made. Go to humanoid root part, just cause we don't want it animating in the torso. So I'm gonna make a motor 6D. Call it gun attach. Part 0 will be humanoid root part, and then part 1 will be the grip. Something I'm also going to do while I'm doing this is set primary part to grip, so we can set that up later when we're doing whatever with the camera. So now, as you can see, we really only have this guy, but what if we wanna kind of hide the arms to the player so you can't see the back of the arms? Like, 'cause you know, you can't stretch your arms out that far in real life. So what we're gonna do is copy this guy, delete everything except his arms and humanoid root part. So we're gonna wanna open up any really rigging thing. I'll link or get it light in the description. And then we're gonna rig the arms to the, oh my god. I'm gonna rig the arms to the humanoid root part and set them up properly. So they are, you know, actually the way that they're meant to be. And this is what an R6 shoulder looks like. So now that we have that, we can obviously scale these up. Now maybe it may look a little bit finicky, but what you can do is actually building tools. We're just gonna remove all the character mesh. Just so it's these arms, and we do actually have to make it an animation controller or it'll act pretty funny. But no worries, we can just set it to smooth plastic. You can look for the arm actual model, but I feel like this works best. And now we have to, so we're gonna make the animations on this guy and then port it to this guy, which is actually pretty simple. You just move the arms back. Animating time. Oh yeah, before I start animating, you only need a idle animation right now because we can add shooting later. You can do the animations right now, but that'll be a separate video. So back to animating. Alright, now that I'm done posing the idle animation for the character, I'm gonna make sure it's looped, and I'm gonna set animation priority to action. I'm gonna save as idle, and then leave animation editor. I'm gonna find the animation saves inside the dummy, and copy it into this guy, our viewport, view model. Now we're gonna click on him, and we see. Alright, so I forgot to make the rig after that I scaled it, because you know it removed the rig. But now that it works, I'm going to enter animation editor and see that it's all broken. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so I just ended up I forgot to make it after the humanoid, like after the arms were scaled, so I just copied them over from the actual dummy, so they were perfect. And now you can see they're a bit, you know, iffy, which is why we're going to fix them. And now we just gotta scale them correctly, or you know what I mean. And you can change it up actually, since no one is going to see this, but and the arms are longer, so I can actually, but just one more change, and now as you can see, the idle animation for the view model is done. The reason I just wanted to import it over from there is so that we can make changes, whatever. And if we didn't like the original, then we can change it here and then import it back and move the arms forward. So I'm going to do the same save, and it already has action and it has loop. So Now what we're gonna do is move. Actually first, what we want to do is we're going to make a folder and call this M4A1 in our weapons. And, obviously bring the M4A1 model in. And then we're going to put animations. So we're going to make a folder, call it animations. First, we gotta call this gun. Yep. And then we're going to do folder for server. And then client. Now I'm gonna publish this. It doesn't matter where I publish it, what group or whatever. As long as I publish it, copy it, make an animation, and since I made it on here, it's going to be in the client. But I'm going to do it on here, and it's going to be for the server. So I'm gonna submit, copy the ID, and then copy the animation, make a new one or whatever, and then put it in here for server. And then we're gonna call them both idle because they're idle. So now what we want to do is take this bad boy, put it into replicated storage, call it arms. Now remove M4A1, but make sure that body attach stays, make sure body attach stays there. So as long as you have body attach and it looks kind of like mine, gun attach. And you can remove animation saves because it's just, a normal arm. So we want to put a local script in starter GUI. So I'm gonna make something that just checks for. Yeah, we gotta make sure the game is loaded. Because if the game isn't loaded, then, well, we're not gonna be able to see anything replicated storage or whatever. Local replicated storage equals game get service replicated storage. And then local run service equals game get service run service. We're gonna also add local players equals game get service players, and now we're gonna do the player. Local player equals players dot local player. Local character equals player dot character or player dot character added wait. This makes sure that if the game isn't loaded fully and our character isn't loaded, then it'll wait for our character. And then we'll do local camera equals workspace dot current camera. Let's separate that from the player and also add local mouse equals player get mouse. Something I forgot to add is in user input service. We can use this to get the mouse delta and add some pretty neat sway. So we're gonna do run service dot render step to connect function. But the thing is, what are we gonna do in here? I once again forgot the arms, so okay. So we're gonna do local arms equals replicated as storage wait for child arms. I'm just gonna automatically do arms.parent equals camera. So if there's not an animation, then we can hide them, but I just thought it would make sense. Let's also back here add a gun variable so we know what gun we're doing. And hold on, let me add some folders. So local modules, local remotes, local weapons, and then local dialogue. Now we'll do replicated storage, wait for child, modules, and then I'm just gonna copy this over because, lazy. Except change it to remotes, weapons, and dialogue. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is go to say run service.render step to connect function delta time. So what we're gonna do in here is arms pivot to camera.cframe. This will make it just so it goes straight to the C frame of the camera. Except we do want an offset, so I'm gonna put a C frame here. I'm gonna do C frame.new 0 1.50. This will make for the head, like the head offset, because it's 1.5 studs above the humanoid root part. So we can do times. Actually, hold on. I have an idea. What if I did this? So it's a bit more neat. Okay, now we're gonna test the game. And then let's see, arms, and then you can see the little shadow as well. So now we're gonna press stop. So now that we know the arms are gonna work, let's add our gun to it. So, hold on, let me make sure. I'm just gonna say weapon, and then local item equals weapons, wait for child, weapon, and then we're gonna do local object, and then we're gonna see if not object, then object equals item dot gun clone. Now what we're gonna do is say object dot C frame. Actually, no. What you gotta do is arms dot primary part dot gun attach dot part 1 equals object dot primary part. Now this is why we needed the primary part in our weapon. So if you don't have that, make sure it's set to grip, you know. And now we can see if it works. I almost forgot to put it in workspace. Object, actually in the arms. Object.parent equals arms. You know, can't forget that. And then we should be good. We can see it in the shadow now. So, I'm gonna check something. Just so I know I'm not going insane. I'm pretty sure it would be minus 1.5. Okay, so now that we know it works, we can start adding animations. So let's make a function up here called function add animations. And then what we're gonna do is say, we don't really need arguments, so above it, let's say local animations equals a table. So we'll do table, actually, hold on. We're gonna do table.clear animations, just so whenever we call this, so we can put it in here, like say add animations, so now it'll give us animations. So, and now local anim folder equals weapons, wait for, or not weapons, item, wait for child, hold on, is there a space there? Yes, there is. That just irritates me. And then animations. So now what we can do is do for IV in pairs animation folder get children do animations v.name equal arms dot animation controller load animation. Actually, let's do dot animator because it's deprecated on animation controllers and humanoids. V. So that'll load the animation, and then I'll just say return true. Yeah. So now what we can do is say we can do animations.idle play. So we're gonna say just 0 because we want it to play instantly. Ooh. Oh yeah. So since we're doing this on the client currently, what we're gonna have to do is okay. So we're gonna use get children, except this time we're gonna do it for animfolder.client, and now this will be that, and then we'll do one for server, and we'll do .server. So we can play animations on the server, and on the client we'll put this as character.humanoid.animator, and then I'll do animations.idle server play 0. And now we will see. And now it shows up. Oh gosh. We should probably fix that by adding, if my brain would work, we gotta make it so everything is can collide. Which includes the gun, which I did already. Gotta make sure it has can collide off and is unanchored except the humanoid root part. And now we can go in first person and see that the gun is in hand. Now you can adjust the offset to your liking. You know, you can make it actually adjustable if you wanted to by the player, but that's a different tutorial if you want it. So we're gonna do one more thing, which is the mouse delta that I talked about earlier. So we're gonna do local delta equals, here, let's do mouse delta equals user input service get mouse delta. Now we're gonna do local delta equals vector2.new mouse delta divided by, let's say, 400. Let's make sure it's x, and then mouse delta dot y divided by 400. And now what we can do is times, let's make it into a rotation. So cframe dot from Euler angles xyz, and then we're gonna do delta dot x. Actually, I think it's flipped. So delta dot y, and then delta dot x, and then 0. Now let's see what that does. And now you can see it is sending, it is making it so it kind of follows our mouse. So whenever we move, it'll kind of delay a bit. But there is something, it's a bit laggy. So what we can do is do local delta cf equals cframe.new up here. And then say delt, actually we should probably put this with the mouse delta. And then do delta cf equals cframe.lerp. Actually, it should be delta cf lerp. And then we can take this entire thing, replace it with delta cf. And then just put a comma there and say 0.25. 0.25. And now when we test, you can see sway. It's pretty neat. And that concludes this tutorial. Next tutorial, you guys get to choose what I add. It's definitely shooting though. That's not a choice. I'm guessing leaning, you know, that type of thing. So, have a very, very, very good day.